October Red. I'm here with Malik King Scott. We are post-fight. What I will do, no, don't worry about that, is firstly I need to apologise for the lack of lighting. You know me and my technicalities. But first of all, welcome Malik.
How you doing?
I think I'm better than you, but I want you to give us a breakdown on Gerald Washington's performance against Derek Chisora tonight. A fight that I thought he was going to win.
Yeah, that make two of us. I thought he was going to win it. It's just one of those things. Chisora was there for the taking, and Gerald decided to just take little bits and pieces here and there. You can't win at the high level like that. And then even I don't want to say you can't win at the high level because Derek is so at the end of his career. That's not even a high level fight to me. Gerald really should have washed him up pretty good. He should have won convincingly, and I wish he would have did more. If anything, when I'm in situations like this, I'd be more upset or more hurt that I train somebody and it's a certain happiness the day after the fights. I want my guys to have where they feel proud when they wake up and like I did it. Gerald, he don't get to have that feeling tomorrow morning, and that saddens me for him. Whether he is sad about it or not, I know I wish the best for him with that. Like it's not like when you train hard, and then on the night you rise to the occasion. Yes. The real reward comes from the next morning when you wake up and you're like, wow, I did it. I wanted Gerald to have that, but life happens sometimes, especially boxing life. He didn't do enough.
We talk about not doing enough. Sorry, he got him out. Well, you got him down. Knocked Chisora down in round 2, and that was it. I thought, okay, here we go. Sweet on the spot, did what he needed to do. But then he seemed to tire. I don't know, he seemed to look tired. Walking back into the corner, he just seemed to tire as the rounds went on. Yeah. Talk to us a little bit about that and what you were saying to Gerald during those moments in the corner.
Well, I'm letting him know that Chisora is there for the taking. I'm letting him know that once he see the tape on how slow Chisora is moving, he's going to be disappointed in himself. It's just so much he could have got out of that from that type of an opponent. I hate to use cliche statements like, you live and you learn or be back next time. I hate all of that kind of shit with fights like that because that was a beyond easy winnable fight for Gerald because I know his ability and I believe in him like more than anybody in the world do. He left a lot on the table right there, and Chisora was there for the taking and Gerald didn't take him. Now someone is that's not even better than Gerald. They're going to come over here and beat Chisora, and they're going to get more opportunities of high revenue that to me, Gerald Washington deserved. So the unfortunate part is like, I just be feeling for my fighter because I want them to get the best of everything they deserve. He really didn't do that tonight, so he's not going to get the best of everything that he deserved concerning high revenue fights, more opportunities. Like, now, it's back to the drawing board, and that's another cliche thing, back to the drawing board, but it really is. So it is what it is.
Sometimes we can have those cliches and they do make sense. Like you said, it is literally what it is. Yeah. Just refresh my memory. What was the notice for this fight?
The notice for this fight was, I think, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 week, whatever it was. Me and Gerald train all the time. Gerald is always in shape. He didn't get on the scale looking like that because he's somebody that don't train. You can see his body. He trains enough, and he trains enough 10 times to be able to beat a Chisora like that on any type of notice. He should be able to come off of a night out of partying and beat that type of Chisora. That's just, and that's not to say nothing about Chisora. That's just to say how much I believe in Gerald, and I know his ability, and I know how bad Chisora was tonight. That there's so many people that would have took advantage of that Chisora a whole lot more, but those type of things happen in this game. The game is more mental than physical, and Gerald Washington is a prime example of that, because when you get an opportunity like that and the stage is set and you don't take full advantage of it, then, there's nobody to blame but yourself. And, I'm Malik Scott, and I know about not taking advantage fully of opportunities. So when I see people I care about in those positions doing it, I'm like, don't do that, brother, because there is no tomorrow. tomorrow, you're going to wake up with a ton of regrets. You're going to wake up wishing you gave more. You're going to wake up with your head down. And guess what? It's no one's fault but yours. So I'm just, extremely honest about it. I want the best for my guys. Even if it means them having and making the best out of opportunities that I didn't make the best out of. So.
No, I hear that. It's kind of like you want to pay it forward within your training, like you said, to make sure they get those achievements. The achievements, like you said, that you may have let pass you or they passed you for whatever reason. Yeah. We talk about 2 weeks' notice, but we do know that Gerald has been a sparring partner. He knows Chisora, so we talk about that preparation. That's something that maybe should have been like blueprinted in his brain to know the type of Derek, the different types of Derek. This evening we got a slower, more sluggish Derek, but yeah.
Older, clumsier, and I say these things, this is not a bad thing to Derek. It's just that Father Time is undefeated. You know what I mean? So Derek has been enough. And I was talking to my family tonight, and I'm telling them that Derek Chisora have had 3 fights total with Tyson Fury, a 12-round war with Robert Helenius, 2 fights with Usyk, 1 or 2 fights, I believe, with Dylan. All these punches, and this is not even counting the Vitali work that was, you know what I mean. So Father Time is undefeated, so he has a ton. He has tons of wear and tear, and everything about his makeup is for someone that want to take charge and give themselves and grant themselves some opportunity. Derek Chisora is there for the taking. He could have chosen anybody to be his opponent. He wanted to give his friend an opportunity to basically steal the show. That's very, very rare. It says a lot about Derek, though, that when you in that type of position and you're able to give anybody an opportunity, you say, you know what, I'm going to choose an American. I'm going to choose someone that I respect and that I have a liking to and I consider a friend, and it's Gerald Washington. Then Gerald Washington come over here and they just have a fight that just goes back and forth, and it wasn't, you know what I mean? It just wasn't fully potential of the Gerald Washington that I know and that I train every day.
We could talk on that, and I guess we could go over it time and time again. It's done. The fight is over.
It's done.
He's walked away with a loss, like you said. There's things to do, reflect, back to the drawing board, etc. But I want to move on to the headline fight, which is obviously Anthony Joshua versus Robert Helenius. And your thoughts on Anthony Joshua's performance this evening?
I was looking at it, and they was interviewing me while I was looking at the fight, and it went up to the eighth round. But before then, the story is that AJ, he was being patient. He wasn't trying to go for the knockout. That's the sales pitch. But I really look at it like he wasn't taking chances earlier on, and that's like a good thing, especially when you're going in to fight. Your next fight is possibly Deontay Wilder, who the hardest puncher in the history of the sport. It's good for you to start practicing, not just fighting off your front foot. It's good for you to go into fights and say, I need to take my time. Derek Chisora said if AJ didn't get rid of Helenius in 3 rounds, it was a shame. I don't know about that, but I know before the knockout, it just was real Chisora-ish in Washington. It was real how Chisora and Washington fight was. It wasn't that far off of it. Actually, in my opinion, the person that gave the most effort tonight was Derek Chisora. So what do I mean by that? In the clinches, he was working his free hand. He consistently came forward. He was trying to win. He was taking chances. Yeah, he's the oldest man on the card, and he has the most wear and tear on him. But if I had to give credit to anybody on the card tonight that came to fight and was working their free hand and wasn't making silent agreements, you have to go with Derek Chisora. Everyone else was like overthinking, second-guessing themselves, looking for the perfect shot. Derek Chisora, he just come to fight. You know what I mean? Even if he get tired or he get cut, he's coming to fight, and he's not making silent agreements. So Anthony Joshua and Robert Helenius fight, it was cute, and then tragedy happened in the 8th round. And, was I really impressed besides the knockout? No. Did it give me any type of feeling that we got some trouble coming in January? No. It actually made me more confident, and I know that he only has 3 or 4 rounds in the ring with Deontay Wilder before he gets knocked out.
And you're basing that on his performance today, or What is it that gives you that kind of notion to say he's got, 3 or 4 rounds max? You're not the first person to say it. This is why I'm asking. I need to know your rationale. What is your reason why you think or you believe that that fight only goes 3 or 4 rounds?
Well, I believe that because AJ used to be. He's not as much, which is why the fight went 8 rounds tonight. He's not as front foot heavy. Dylan White was able to hurt him early with a left hook early on in his career because AJ was front foot heavy. He would just punch and put his chin over his front knee. So by him doing that, I'm thinking like he can't do that with Deontay, especially the Deontay that I trained. That have everything is systemized, everything is a game plan, everything is done with intent, everything is drill. Deontay is a very dangerous fighter right now, and I just feel as though it won't take him long to catch up with AJ. AJ want to overthink and sit back and play that game. We're not going to allow that, and we're not coming to make no silent agreements. And Deontay is coming to send him to the next dimension, and that's his intention. Like Deontay is not. He want to send you to the next dimension. When he's not punching at you, he's punching through you. And if you notice tonight, AJ eye was lumped up. He was bleeding. So one would say, well, that's boxing. Yeah, well, when we fought Helenius, our eye wasn't lumped up and we wasn't bleeding and we still was boxing. But the difference is the violent aspect. Deontay Wilder is extremely way more violent with his hips and with his bad intention punches than AJ to me will ever be. AJ is good at multiple punches. Tonight was the first time I actually seen him knock somebody out cold, ever. Ever. I seen Deontay do that type of work right there tons and tons of times with 20-ounce gloves on, with 10-ounce gloves on. That right there, what happened tonight to Helenius, Deontay does that in training camps. He does that in fights. It's just who he is. He's a knockout artist. So we'll see. I'm excited about the fight, though. If there's anybody I want to see Deontay do knockout is Anthony Joshua, because I just think it's a great fight. It's good for more than boxing. It's good for culture. It's good for art. It's good for hip hop music. It's good for sports in general. It's good for the heavyweight division. It's good for boxing. So I'm excited about it, and I'm a part of it. And I'm gonna orchestrate the ass whooping. So I'm very excited.
That confidence there. Have you heard from Deontay since the fight? Have you spoke to him? Oh, what did he say?
He was like, yeah, we needed that. We both said the same thing, because at first it looked like it was getting ready to go to distance. So when the knockout came, I called him on FaceTime, and he was like, whew, I'm glad he got that done. We needed it done just like that. So, we're both satisfied. The fight is bigger to me than it was because of the knockout. So shout out to AJ for going out there and getting the job done in the 8th round. And most of all, really shout out to Robert Helenius. It takes a lot of courage to get in that ring with real killers on short notice, on long notice, whatever it is. He just fought Deontay last October, had one fight back. Now he's right back in here fighting Anthony Joshua. So good.
What is the progress of this? Because I know January was the suggested date. However, there's some sort of rumor that now Deontay Wilder may have a fight October, November. We talk about the activity of fighters. I mean, taking that into account, who would Deontay Wilder's opponent be? And is he going to be ready for a January showdown?
He'll be more than ready for a January showdown. Right now, last time I checked with, Deontay, and last time we had a conversation about him fighting or opponents, anything like that, we was looking for something for October.
Okay.
Hopefully something for October. We can lock in an opponent, and then from there we'll go knock out AJ in January.
Any type of opponent? Because Ruiz's name was thrown in there.
No, Ruiz don't want to fight Deontay. We're looking for somebody else, somebody that really wants to fight, someone that's really willing to take a chance, and unfortunately someone else that's going to be knocked out.
We love it. Listen, Malik, better late than never. This was actually better than probably the one that we would have got at the press conference. Absolute pleasure. Until the next time.
God bless you, and I'm sorry for the lateness and all of that, but I got you. Anytime I give you my word, we're going to get it done.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.